from Outlive TV. How are you? Happy Tuesday? It's Tuesday today. I mean, who's keeping track of the days anymore, right? Welcome to Ultra Love TV. If you're new to the channel, I really appreciate you being here. Ultra Love is an online lifestyle brand that's been guided ultimately by my compassionate heart of empathy. Endeavoring to pioneer more love in the world, like more compassion, more fairness, more justice, and all that jazz. Hey, can we give a holla holla holla? Check this out, my friends. Behind me is a bespoke natal chart painting from a fellow YouTuber and friend who started making these, endeavoring that freedom, creative flow life. Very, very special. So if any of you guys, Divine Sight, her name is The Roots. On the YouTube, some of you guys I know her because some of you have also purchased a bespoke painting. But I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled with mine. She gives you a little, astro thing, and it's super fun. I arrived yesterday, so yeah, check out The Roots, and if any, you can message me basically if you want to get in touch or find her on YouTube. I'm having a coffee morning. I've been up since 3 o'clock. Again, big changes. This month is pretty monumental. I'm starting to make notes now for our upcoming summer solstice. Brenda Hernandez is in the house, everyone. Welcome. I know, right? How gorgeous is this? I mean, if you're interested, I'd get in there, because something tells me that The Roots is going to be a little bit busy with these creations. So yeah, if you're interested, I would definitely reach out soon-ish to get yours sooner rather than later, I know. So Divine Sight's got one on order. One of our fellow YouTubers, Scott Zetzela's got one on order. And then you've just said Lisa wants one too, right? Hey! Hola! Lisa's in the house! This is so fun. I just got like little goosey bumpy shivers. You're getting in line. It's just stunning. And I'm pretty sure I got a little sneak peek of Divine Sights. And, well, I mean, how cool is it? They're big pieces. Obviously, they're keepsakes for self. I think they're great gift ideas. And they're completely unique. Like, I don't know if you guys can see the center of my my wheel, my natal chart. It's the logo. It's the Ultra Love, watch the cleavage. It's the Ultra Love logo. So her kind of, the touch, and then I feel forgetful, but I feel like maybe Divine Sight had like a yin yang. So there again, like the uniqueness, and you probably can't see in this lighting, but she's put glitter, so different fractals of light shine out from the, how you put the conjunctions and the squares and all that kind of stuff. And a little bit of research. I know more and more of us are intuitively navigating astrological awareness, among many other things, connected to the heart, right? Yes, because we want to live from the heart. I had a spiritual teacher a few years ago say this such profound statement, and I often say it at the end of a yoga session with people, but a mind disconnected from the heart destroys its host. So we can see that our humanity, in disconnection from their heart space, is destroying the very planet that we live on. And inherently we all know this to be true. It's not good for our bodies. So here we are in a global paradigm shift where all of humanity is like being triggered into their awakenings. What is life? It's yours. Life is your creation. And the more we attune to our heart space, the more benevolent and beautiful life becomes. Straight up legit. Except oftentimes we have a dark tunnel of emotional trauma to navigate through that. Fuck it, what's gonna happen? And then suddenly amazing people start showing up. Like all of you beautiful people. Isn't there a song? I feel like it's like a rock song. Beautiful people, the beautiful people. Might walk off the head with my hair. I felt, I just threw it up there and I just day to day feel a little bit different. But it's juicy. Like it's a freedom feel, so we're good to go. Like you go think back to high school when like it's like a serious thing and it's freaky freaks. Lisa, it's so effing great to have you here. A beautiful people. Well, I think he's probably Marilyn Manson. That fella, I would say he's a fairly awakened artist. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't even like listen to his music. That song just popped into my head, You're mint. Fresh breath. This morning coffee is not freshening my breath. Oh my god. So, holla, holla, holla. Ultimate CV, represent a more loving world connected to the divine side. Divine side, that's our inner eye, right? Our open heart. It's like our intuitive vision, our cellular knowing beyond the illusion. That's what we're bringing. That's what we're embodying. We're embodying these higher vibes, and it's like, holla, let's shine that high vibe into the world. And increasingly I find it's simple. We feel, and we endeavor to love through the darkness or through the healings, and we just keep at it. There's waves, there's cycles. Sometimes we're up, sometimes we're down. Truly, truly, the power of our consciousness is the thing. And once we start to tap that, once we start to really yoke that connection to our divinity and our source point, life becomes this miraculous, expansive, and quite trippy. That's part of like my book. But my book. Just buy stuff from Outer Love, you guys. You want to. The book is really this sense of like my feeling and sense of this whole spiritual ascension or awakening or whatever have you, or transformation, alchemy, spiritual transformation and alchemy. We must plummet to our most fiery depths. We must face our deepest, darkest shadows. We must, and look at the world that right now, it's for some of us, I feel that it is just this ability to hold space for the entire globe and the collective. That's essentially what we came for, right? And yet there's this knowing everything's going to be okay. I know it might look really nasty out there, but the truth is we're going to see this through. And we are evolving en masse. The whole human collective is waking up to their power, waking up to their, well, that's not cool, right? Awakening is often basically thinking life is one way, seeing something that goes, holy shit, that's not at all what I thought, and then a perspective shift, right? So we have a sudden download of different perspective, our whole reality changes. And some of us here just maybe or maybe not, but some of us had these sort of awakening perspective shift experiences many, many, many years ago. And now we are here to say, don't worry, you shall survive or not. I mean, we're living in a time of mass awakening. And so in this awakening to a higher base tone frequency or timestamp frequency, we then also shed the layers of the old. And that's a reminder that the Earth Akash, so we understand that the Earth has an Akashic record. And that is something where, how we get attached to things? The Akash is there to let us know that it's all stored. The good, the bad, the ugly, the high, the low, you know, the distorted. It's all stored in the Earth Akashic record. Like we could imagine part of our computer storage, the cloud, as it were. You know, so we don't. That's the great paradox of all this. We identify with our reality. We then attach our sense of value and identification, that's the ego, right, into these external things. And yet, one of the most substantial teachings is that nothing in this reality is permanent except for the impermanence of life, the impermanence of creation. It's an ever-flowing recycling. That's kind of how I see it, this sort of ever-blossoming flower that wilts and dies to blossom again, and wilts and dies to blossom again. And yet, again, many of us are aware, if we're always chasing those highs, we don't let our skin shed. We don't let ourselves transform, right? And that's part of, I would say, the distortion of that 3D paradigm, the matrix, or you know, the old paradigm, is that we're taught, like, you know what you're supposed to do, and then you're gonna do that, and that's just your life. And so many of us were like, yeah, it can, yeah. I mean, I feel lots of us here have possibly already had like 3 or 4 transformations. I posted something on Facebook recently about, like, holla, hands up, any of you have ever had to like lose everything and build up from scratch. And so much of this tribe is like, holla, holla. And then one actually said, you know, more than once. And I'm there right with you. You leave home, you're like, ah, and then you go to different places. Like every time you have a career change, it's so effing monumental. Hola, hey Elliot, how are you? Actually, my mom was talking about you, and I was about to massage. Hi Casey, Elliot. It's like Adrian, Elliot. Holla, 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 holla. Hey, dwa. So, only thing constant in the world is change. In diddly doodly. We might be in the high few basement level. Ah, Maxine! Holla, Maxine! How are you? Did I see? I'm sure I saw you earlier as well. So, if you guys are brand new here, I do sometimes come live and do a little bit of live tarot. I offer intuitive tarot readings, which you can book online. Those are privately created, and then I send the link to your mailbox. If you want FaceTime, you can book perspective calls, live tarot with me, privately, of course. You can buy my book, and I have some apparel, some Alta Love clothing things that I collaborate with a distributor and sustainable brand. Of course, the tag for Alta Love is sustainability, spirituality, and freedom. I also have created a series of online courses that focus on that sustainability, spirituality, and freedom. In fact, the final course that I produced last October when I went to Morocco was Unplugged for Freedom. And I feel that all of these courses are pretty gosh darn relevant for the times that we're living in. And the Unplug for Freedom course is an 8-week, they're all 8-week courses, but the Unplug is really breaking it down from my lovers that the media is dictating our behavior. We think we have freedom because we get to like go shopping, except we're kind of being told what to shop. You know, we're being told what causes to jump on. We're being told what to be frightened of. We're being told what's right and wrong, who's right and wrong, who's good and bad. And something that we'll continue to see is that trigger point in the collective. Thus, there again in this community, I would say our best bet is to hold space and to focus on what we can do for ourself, and then extend that into our community, which I know for a fact the majority of you, if not all of you here, are doing that. You know, in the live share crew, we have, you know, key workers, we have healthcare workers, teachers, healers, you know, so many different, everyone's coming at all of this from a different place. So how, and certainly with the Northern and Gemini, we're not here to tell each other what to do anymore. We're here to permission We're here to permission one another into our sovereignty. Wait a minute. Oh, that's what I call from my beta. Is it today, Elliot? And hey, Kay, how are you? Is it? Is it? Is it your birthday? Happy birthday to you, Elliot. Happy birthday to you. Are you guys singing along? You better be. Happy birthday, dear Elliot. Happy birthday to you. And many more. I mean, infinite. It's the truth. Eternal, infinite creators are we, aspects of consciousness, parts and particles of God force, universal light codes. And here we are in a time where we're able to perhaps better discern our creatorship. And certainly from my perspective, it requires a great amount of compassion. Mary, hello Mary, and appears in the house. And appears in the house. Mary's in the house. Is it? Is it? Ah, it's great to have you. Every time I connect to a Lisa comment, I get little goosebumps. Rightio. Alright, let's just pull some cards and do a little collective reading for my lovers of the hot love vibration. So Yogi Bhajan is a pioneer of, I mean, it's let's not worship nobody but the hot space of love. But there's a nice, the 5 sutras of the Aquarian age, the Yogi Bhajan, pioneer of Kundalini Yoga. And he says, understand through compassion or you'll misunderstand the times. It's true. And that's part of our deeper healing. Recognize that when we're triggered, anger is always like covering up some deep, moflo, loving wounding. Like every time. And yet, as we continue to become more awake and more conscious, I'm at a point as well where those slight irritations or are possibly about dissonance rather than triggers. Because sometimes you can sit with your anger and it just dissolves. But anger is almost always a deflection, like, "Hur!" And then what I noticed in my healing process, that whenever I had anger, my mind was in blame and attack. Like, he makes me feel this way. And then I'm like, do you see? Do you see what your mind is doing, MJ? I'm like, fuck. What is shit? I'm blaming them for my creation. Right? And I'm also aware that a lot of us, the anger trigger is all the many ways that we've given our power away. Imagine you're this infinite source being who gave your power to all these systems, all these people, and then ages go by and suddenly you're like, wait a minute. Fuck. Holy shit. I just gave all these people my power. And then you find compassion for self through forgiveness. And then it gets easier and easier to essentially have kindness and compassion for all. At the same time, certainly for the empath community, you also learn how to have a boundary, i.e. not act out of your wounding. And we're still majorly healing all that. However, the empath community getting ready to rise. We be rising, we be... Oh my god. I'm just in a funny mood today. I might be going surfing today. Hola! So I'm pulling cards for the collective. It's always my intention to offer divine divine guidance and loving clarity. Divine guidance and loving clarity for the Ultra Love TV community. None of us of the highest hot love vibration. Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. There are people dying, and if you care enough for the living, make it a better place for you and for me. All that means is be kind to yourself and endeavor to be kind to other people. That is like the simplest, effective way of understanding how do we make the world a better place. Be kind. Love yourself. Heal. Put your feet on the ground. Connect to this planet. This is our home. And it's beautiful. And she feeds us. She feeds our soul. She feeds our bodies, you know? She allows us to have this experience. We should honor this earth. Plus, like, I don't know about you guys, but she's fucking beautiful. Oh my god. My earliest awakenings, part of it was just seeing a sunset and breaking down. Having that recognition that, oh my god, I'm one with that beauty. Then I was like, awakening, shitballs, what do I know? I recently came across a meme. I'm loving memes these days, and this meme was, I think, you know, the Roadrunner? Anyway, some cartoon character that jumps off a cliff, and they're like, you know, what spiritual awakening is really like. Like, you jump off a cliff, you're suspended midair, and you're like, fuck. I'm like, every time. And I'm aware of that fully, like, very consciously. Similarly, in my last transformational cycle, I call it, like, once you take that leap, and that's a quantum leap, which means once you leap, you're like, you can't go back. It's like opening the Pandora's box. So then what happens? Usually I call it the free fall. You're just like, holy fucking shit. And then eventually you land. It kind of hurts. You're like, ooh, dark night of the soul. And then possibly have to fight some demons. Holy shit, this is all scary. And then I often call it, and then you skid out for a bit. Land, yeah, skid out. And eventually you stop, and you're like, I'm still alive. And then you dust yourself off and try again. And that's the idea of rising up from the ashes. That's transformation. And, you know, I don't want to speak for other people, but I sort of just think that's the process. People maybe want the energy of somebody who's undergone transformation, but unless they take the leap in their own lives, they will not transform. They will stay anchored in the same base tone, which any of us on this transformational journey, that's why we lose people. But we're not actually losing people. We're simply releasing and letting go of an aspect of self that is no longer in alignment with how our soul has become. You know, the way our soul is now shining into this reality. We no longer resonate with parts of our old self that we had to integrate through catalyst learning and through often healing from. I do feel it like karmic stuff, you know, entanglements, low-level distortion. You know, living through the dark ages, I think we all got, like, we all went into the dark. So now we just kind of have to own our totality as a creative being, which means owning our darkness, which is part of the, I would say, the illusion of even the false light. Like, if you are spiritual enough, then you shall ascend. I feel it's more grounded than that. It's like there's no higher or lower. You're the totality. It's like coming out through the heart space and projecting through that infinite eye. And then you're one with that co-creation. So it's like we're all on the same journey in essence. And that's, I would say, often how we find those access points to forgive one another. Because in my awareness anyway, the truth is that any pain that I've experienced, I created that for my own self. And so if I were to blame other people for my pain or blame other people, then I just, you know, we just kind of stay locked into those distorted patterns. That was my experience anyway. If you deny the soul, people will abuse you. Okay. I don't take any of this stuff too seriously. I just am myself. I'm not here to tell people how to live or tell people how to be. I decided one day that I want to be myself. And you know, I don't want to do what people are telling me to do because it feels shit. Except for now that I'm aligning with my soul tribe, soul familia, sisterhood, brotherhood. It's a whole game changer. Because now I'm letting myself receive help. And it is just divine. Sigh. Divine sight. And I have some good chats, y'all. Andy P. Mary, check this out. I'm hearing another song. Check this out. One of your soul. Is that like a Run DMC song? This is my roots and roots. The roots is on fire with the little all to love symbolage in the middle. And I do what I want. I do what I want. It's like, that's a fucking radical statement for a man, because there's like, I'll do what people want me to do to make everybody happy until I have nothing left. It's like, can we learn first to look after ourselves and then shine that light? And then the people who also want to learn how to look after themselves, aka self-responsibility, then we line up. And that's, everything they say, unfortunately, is totally true. When you shine your light, your tribe arrives. But sometimes we have to go through some really deep and kind of annoying what is life? Like this beautiful, what people call the ugly crime, but like whatever. It's like we have to go through those deep transformational, it's alchemy. That's the pressurized heat of transforming those limited cell memories. That's the secret of the cash. We are one with it all, right? They are vegan. Who? Oh, baby, you're so fun. You're so fun. You blow my mind. Hey, vegan. Hey, vegan. Oh. I set up. I got my crystals out as well. I got me some more lovely smelly candles. Came off. I haven't had chief in a couple of days, which actually I'm feeling pretty good. It's like the vibrations are lifting in certain things. I'm just like, it's like letting go of my most long-standing relationship. Okay, you guys, I've been pulling cards this whole time, by the way, because I was actually going to offer you a little bit of a collective reading. Thank you guys for your private bookings as well. I really appreciate you guys buying stuff from All to Love. Essentially, that's my life. So when you buy things from All to Love, it's helping me out, and personally, I think, and the world. Cheers. Go vegan. That's the courses, the Be the Change courses. They're 4 courses: Zenful Zero Waste, Spirituality Simplified, Ultra Vegan Love, and Unplug for Freedom. Maybe I'll do a little promo and give it a deal, or not, Hey, oh hello, Caroline. How are you, darling? So sometimes I put on little silly accents. I don't know why. I don't know where they come from either. I mean, I do have a bit of Scottish ancestry though, so maybe that's why. Making love. Oh, that's right, you guys. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. I'm in a hyperactive mood. Surprising, because 2 days ago I was like in the shits. This is a collective reading for All to Love TV community. Divine guidance and loving clarity, that's the simple truth. Bearing in mind, it's always wise to just super duper be connected to your intuition. Regardless, healers, teachers, tarot readers, make sure you don't give your power to nobody, okay? So if it resonates, if it's uplifting, if it feels good, that's more in resonance with your higher self. If it's like, fucking doodles, if it feels distorted, it's likely you just jog along and find people you res with. Find your tribe, peeps. That's where it's at. It's for sure where it's at. And I mean, the cards that I'm looking at right now are absolutely in resonance with the collective energies. We have Tower moments, Hala. We have Judgment. The Tower moment to me feels like movement, though. So, some people are maybe old paradigm stuff. Old paradigm stuff is like, tower moment, as in stuff out of my control, right? And yet here we are in the global paradigm shift where every single one of us is having to let go. Our little mind ain't in control of this game, my lovers. This paradigm shift is totally beyond any of us individually. It's cosmic, it's divine, it's like this universal blueprint timestamp that it is the infinity loop of Earth's co-creative generation station. That's why Earth is such a fucking epic place in the universe. That's why so many of us are like lining up to like have the Earth experience, because the soul, like the soul just expands so much through the duality of this construct ultimately, right? And yet at the same time, as we move into higher timelines, i.e. more higher vibrational light frequency codes on this universal and or galactic transit, that's the awakening. happens every, I would say, maybe 26,000 years. This infinity loop trajectory that the Earth takes is a generational station of my awareness. It's a place where, and that's, it goes into darkness, comes back to the light, goes into darkness, comes back to the light, right? And when it's in the darkness, it gets kind of, it becomes, it's like these grids, these dark webs can get embedded, and we're essentially like, it's time, let's go, boom. It's like landing on Earth to essentially shatter the old grid lines, but that's a light code frequency. It's super weird and paradoxical because this has nothing to do with what we think. Oh yes, I know. No, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing at all. That's like the North Node in Gemini, right? The North Node in Gemini is all about this ability to like kind of hold space for that more open mind. That open mind that can kind of adapt and shapeshift and be flexible about whatever it may be thinking, because thought is, it's like truth is so much deeper and beyond thought form or word for that matter. And I remember sharing that about, because I just started reading a little bit of that Neil Donald Welch Conversations with God, and it reiterates that, like, you guys all, in the church construct or whatever, talk about the word of God that is there again. It's like an original sin of distortion. They're absolutely, we're not gonna find God in a word, source, God, whatever, that broader connection to our infinity eternal self. It's right here, baby. I see you, baby. Shake that ass. Oh, I know that I love this because you guys were hit the ground running. Holla, holla, holla. Oh, Mary, Divine Sight's pool is reconculous. It is just badass. It's like, yeah, I often imagine myself there. Although I mean, I'm not a complainer because I'm living by the sea. I'm going surfing today. Hello. Get your freak on. You know you want to. Tank reading Natal Chart promo. Hello. It is, Mary. I'm not sure when we got here, y'all, but are the tank tops there yet? Yes, tank tops can be ordered. I do need to update the shop though. I visited my own online shop, and it seemed like some things were missing when I went to look, so I do need to I have to do better work today. I have to do better work on the computer. See, I think it's the hair is making me feel a little bit more silly than normal. I am living in a material world, and I am a material girl. We are living in a material world, and I am a material. The thing is, I'm a material girl who's primarily connected to source. Recognizing that source is that which is creating my material world. And so I flipped around from going, like, material, I need it to make myself alive. It's like, flip that around and go, I am the aliveness that I see. So if I don't like shit, I'm gonna have to fucking transform it from within self so that I can see something different in alignment with my heart. Hala, all to love. So let's get into the collective reading for today. We do have this tower, but we have the positive judgment, and some of you intuitively are having to cut some people out, and or you're going to cut some bass tone frequencies out in your mindscape. The King of Swords reverse. I mean, straight up legit, the King of Swords reverse to me is the old paradigm in a sense. Like false perception, right? False perception. Distorted thinking. Power over, control and domination, i.e. this king is not in his power. He has to manipulate and deceive. He has to divide and conquer to feel powerful. That's not that powerful at all. Do you know what is powerful? Just badass. Being in alignment with the soul, being in total balance and harmony with nature and connected to self. So we're rising this intuitive knowing. We are anchoring in the truth of our intuitive knowing and living from that space. He ain't no king. Holla to that. Right? So this intuition is trumping all. Trump, that's coming up a lot when I'm saying trumping all, and I'm like, haha, get it? Anywho. So it's rising time for the empath community, like holla, like never before. Rising time, break free, shatter the illusion, live from your heart, you know? Elliot, you know, I'm suddenly aware. I'm like, I think this has crossed my mind before, but I'm like, I'm not sure. Does anyone know what the B and J stands for in the High Priestess card and in the Rider Waite? The High Priestess being in the reverse to me actually does signal that we are now really dropping into that intuition. There again, once you find once we like I can share with you, once you find your soul tribe, it gets easier. You still have to process, you still have to be self-responsible. Obviously, you're still going to feel a whole bunch of stuff, and yet I can testify that when you start letting in the right people, your life exponentially starts to feel better, more supported, more love, more just all of it. And then the more you can let go of the old patterns of functioning from fear, increasing just miracles and like, I mean, I always knew intuitively, but like legit, the more you focus on your own joy, the more you focus on your feel good, the more you focus on living a free life of freedom, that everything starts showing up the way you need to live that way. The people, the money, the resource, the insight, the inspiration. It's all about opening ourselves up to our heart. It is so beautiful and exquisite, and yet it's just a weird and trippy ride because we're literally reversing and inverting the perception that we are indoctrinated to buy into. All right? Like the world is separate and we're all just like these little flesh suits that should be fucking robots to be of any value. And now more and more of us are going, no, that's not it at all, actually. It's my mind, it's my heart. I get to choose. And nobody's going to choose for me. And that's a big part of the Aquarian age, sovereignty and unity. That we all rise to the heart space so that we can live in alignment in service to the whole, which is a service to self. It's the same thing. Which is more and more for compassionate, empathic souls. Focus on yourself. Empower yourself. And I get it. I know it's weird and it seems selfish, or your people might attack you or blame you or try to manipulate you. You know, stand your ground, stand in your integrity, do what you know in truth is right for you, and then trust that if it ain't, you'll figure it out. You know, it's weird. We're under these masks until we're not. We're unconsciously trying to please our parents until we're not. And that's part of what I'm aware of in the paradigm, the collective global paradigm shift. It's that, and this is where our shining compassion and shining unconditional love for everybody is super duper powerful. Because increasingly more and more people are just at the beginning. What is my life, right? And they might be more deeply invested. So it's like a mass breakdown. And now this has been happening all along, okay? FYI. I mean, it's been happening all along. The seeds were planted in the 60s, and now the blueprint is really happening, right? And hence why so many of us are now in this vibrational position to just be hovering outside the grid, and shining the light, holding space, and open-heartedly allowing ourselves to continue to be guided so that we can continue to hold space in the highest vibration, high vibe gatherings, online events, medicine, ceremony, plant medicine, sharing what works for us with one another. More and more of us having these random online communities and broadcasting our light into the world, broadcasting our truth, broadcasting in any given moment. It's funny, like stuff I maybe shared a year ago or 2 years ago, that's a different MJ. but I'm learning to love her too and accept her too, not run away and reject. Which again, this community, you guys have helped me see that, and there again, that's why we need those soul connections. Because legit, suddenly everything starts to make a lot more sense. You're like, oh my god, I knew there were other people. You know, whereas, because, and Adrienne Elise, I know a lot of us listen to Adrienne. Adrienne Elise talks about this, is that most of us do have these, like, we've alienation, like growing up in situations and schools and families that we just didn't really, like, that we felt shut down by all the time, or that we felt they never really understood us, or just wanted to bully us and abuse us and stuff. So, yeah, it's a monumental leap, and yet, in my awareness, like, it's inevitable. It's happening whether we want it or not. It's happening whether we like it or not. Pardon me, I'm getting the coffee burps, and I'm starting to feel the hunger. I'm hearing another song. Thunder! Oh, thunder! It's just like, oh my, look at my infinity. Did you see the infinity? I got this last summer in Portugal, and I've got a Alta Love tattoo just like that. Look at this. Holla. Screenshot. Okay, let's get to the cards. I'll probably close her down. Hey, did I see one of you ask, can you ask a question? Yeah, sure you can. You can ask a question. If I hope to see the question. Obviously, you can tell I just blabberoony, and then sometimes I see stuff, sometimes I don't. Snatch. I'll have another snack to that. I have snacks. I'm some raspberry licorice in my room. Okay, so we have the High Priestess. That's where we were. We're talking about this living intuition, you know, being really anchored in our heart space and essentially detached from most external information, endeavoring to align with soul tribe, i.e. positive judgment. This is what we're cutting out, yeah? We're cutting out the old paradigm. You have 4 bites of a burger left. Oh no, I ate that. Yeah. As we were talking, you know how like when sometimes you're full up, and then you like have a little break, and then even in the like 3 minutes of having a little chat about like, I think I just put it in the fridge, I was just like looking at it and be like, come on. And then I think I maybe left like this much of the burger. And I just threw it away. Is that bad? Oh, I should have. I like feel bad for the burger, the chunk of bean burger that I threw away. Okay, so it's rising the intuition to effectively cut out those limited thought patterns in the old paradigm construct, King of Swords. And this is part of the messaging here, is that's yeah, it's that idea, I guess, of Judgment Day. And God, actually, this reading is pretty significant in that regard. The Tower is, to me, the collapse of the paradigm, and we're in it. This is literally what's happening in the here now. The entire global economic and political structures as we know them, which then infiltrates into corporate food creation and distribution, our education systems, our schools of academia, all of it. It's bottoming out because it's false, in essence. It's a limited paradigm because it's looking through the lens of separation, i.e. what I said earlier in our share about a disconnected mind and heart, disconnected. So as we reintegrate and find the connection, we begin to vibrate in unity with the law of one. And then the world can become more harmonious and miraculous for more and more and more of us. Remember, it's only your world that you're living in. So, there again, that's why I heavily encourage people to unplug. Stop especially if it's triggering you and making you fearful. Just don't watch it. Don't watch the news. Don't watch TV. Trust me, your life will go on. And you will find out and hear about the important things that you need to find out and hear about. There again is trusting the living intuition. You're more powerful than anything outside of you. Why on earth, as a humanity, when we recognize that power, do we give it to the news? Do we give it to a fucking screen? And that's something really, really important to recognize. The truth is not on your fucking TV. That's a propagated lie to control your mind and steal your energy. Okay, so it's like this it's a we are it is like wake up call time, right? Yeah, John Beanie in the house. Yes, divine sight, right? How good? How good is that? I also get this like inspiration. You guys know that I'm manifesting a home for myself and eventually my mother who's immigrating over to the UK probably around autumn. And like getting that piece made me like just like so excited about my work room. And like I want to have my my live work room, and then that's going to be my background because I love it and I think it's relevant to our there again it's an example of our inherent creative beauty, and also the fact that what's so special about Roots' artwork is that that's mine. Like no other human's ever gonna have that exact thing, and our charts are completely unique. I mean, astrology definitely teaches us that. Like we are in every way completely unique, and yet we're all made up of the same energy. That's the sovereignty and unity piece. Like the recognition of the heart space is that we are all one, as far as we are all made up of stardust in a sense, right? And then when we remember that, it's kind of impossible to hold on to grievance or anything because the heart of compassion recognizes that all of us are here to support, help, and teach one another. Sometimes, however, the teaching is betrayal, the teaching is abuse, the teaching is shits, basically. And yet, for the true empath, I would say, or just any of us, when it's time for us to rise, we shall. When it's time for us to remember and heal, we shall. And this is part of that time. It's like this card. It's like after, it's like the judgment, it all comes crashing down, the entire global structure as we know it. And then what? This is part of our new paradigm, new earth. This is Eckhart Tolle's teachings as well. I feel emotion coming. We are here to birth this. This is a higher harmonic existence. It's like more of humanity embodying their Buddhahood, their Christhood. Not putting that energy outside of self. Not worshipping and idolizing external deities. We're here to embody the essence of the Christ. Which, come on, peeps. All that means is treating each other how we deserve to be treated. Which is, again, why. Why is all this shit happening in our world? Because we need to fucking wake up. And we need to heal. And we need to address generational oppression and abuse. Generational enslavement. And we are all enslaved to a certain degree. It's not about denying our privilege, and yet it is an enslavement system, okay? So eventually in the oneness rising, you will break free from any level of division, right? Hence the isms. The isms become a non-concept anymore. Men and women. You know, men and women alike. Here's what I write in the book, though, and at the same time, the more aware we become, the more sense of responsibility we have to live in harmony with the one mind, the one soul, the one tribe, right? And know the truth of your heart, know the truth of your compassion. You know, don't let the media tell you who you are, okay? It's big deals, right? One heart, one love, one tribe, holla. Hey, Stephanie, how are you, my beauty? Hey, Buck Tyler, how are you? What does that just remind me of? Alexis from, like, she goes like this all the time. You know who I mean. Alexis from Schitt's Creek, right? So yeah, this. The tower's coming down on the old construct. Hello! Hey Kermel, how are you? Hey Dave, how are you? Aw, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you guys so much. My love is on the internet. I'll be vibrating on a similar enough frequency that we meet here in these beautiful co-creative spaces of heart love. So the awareness, yes, we are birthing it. Hey, you know, Kurt Mail, you may find this good. So the reading that I'm doing right now is like a collective reading for the energies, right? Cyber. Ooh, very nice. Very nice. You know, and that's part of it. We're really integrating into our deservingness and our worthiness and our love, you know. So I definitely last week had that. Like, I keep getting goosebumps, you guys, but like last week as well, you know, just chatting more to Roots and feeling more invested in this community and less thinking or worrying about saving people or changing the world. Like, that's a big thing that I've let go of, is like, I'm not here to change the world, or certainly not, I'm not here to like save the world. That's in my just in me now, where I've come to. I'm like, you know, I'm kind of bored of that, and I don't think it kind of works like that. In essence, I think that awakening is actually saving the self from separation, from disconnection, right? And then as you learn to unify and heal, you rise. You just, and this idea of ascension or rising, and in human terms, just means you feel better. You feel better in your body. You feel better in your mind. That's all. And then the better you get at doing that, the better you get at doing that. And people that make you feel shit, you just walk away from, you know? Like the entire world, really. So, Kurt will find this good. So the card spread is like super relevant to the collective energies right now. High Priestess, it's like rising into ish. And then King of Swords reverse, which to me is the false construct of the old paradigm. And Kurt and I have talked a lot about like the debt-based economy, which then we have the positive judgment, which is a number 20. And then the tower comes down. And to me, the judgment is like, this is our judgment day, my lovers. So the more we vibrate the love of truth in our heart space, whatever that looks for any of us, that's the judgment day. I'm hearing some like, glory, glory, hallelujah. We can sing and rejoice and celebrate and celebrate. Because a lot of us already know that the resource-based economy and the free technology for free energy for the entire world, that's way more sustainable, and like more love and more healing and more eco villages and more allotment and more people growing food and, you know, peace-loving hippies or whatever. That's the world that we're moving toward. And this kind of community, we're pioneering that. We're leading the way. But the idea of leadership in no way looks like what we think of leadership in the here now. Leadership in New Paradigm isn't about controlling people. Okay, it's about everybody bringing out the best in one another and recognize that we're all infinite teachers and students of life, you know? And we lead with heart. We lead with compassion, and we lead with the humanity deserving to be here. And they don't, I mean, there again, we cut out or we dissolve, transform the enslavement system because it hurts our heart. Because this is our home and we all deserve to live here well. And, you know, people stealing and hoarding resources and then using it to power over people, no. No more of this. Like divine side. It's like the heart of the divine feminine coming into greater equanimity with our a little bit overactive masculine energy, right? We need that feminine to heal. And that was part of this last nodal transit. Was the nodal transit is just the North Node just moved through Cancer, right? So we're all learning. We've just spent the last, what, year and a half, 2 years learning how to better look after ourselves. And yet in the here and now, as we move into the Gemini North Node, we're still integrating that transition. Like I'm even recently, very recently, because I have my North Node in Cancer, which means my South Node is Capricorn. So my Capricorn has been driving me the whole time, and what feels very suddenly, I'm like, oh, like I don't want any of that. and I'm weirded out by what my pure heart actually wants. I'm like, I just like want my simple life, and I want to be able to go to the sea and grow food and hang out with people I love, and that's about it. And I sort of always thought that anyway. I feel like the majority of humans are like we just want to eat and have shelter and love one another. That's joy. Like sometimes when I say it like that, and it just feels so real, and it's so grounded, and it's so pure, it's so in alignment, that anything else I'm like, okay, like if that's what people are choosing, fair dues. There are no victims. So yeah. So we have this happening. Of course, I'm reading for the Auto Love Collective. We have our positive judgment coming and the Tower coming down. So this whole lineup is Intuish rises. It calls out this fucking bullshit. This is corrupted leadership right here. These are people using manipulative tactics to try to power over the people. Guess what, Moflo lovers? That ain't gonna happen. Because there's a higher benevolent force taking over. It's like, we got the love train here now, y'all. And there again, a lot of us are used to being bullied and teased, and it's nice to finally really come into like, oh, I was actually sort of onto something all those years ago, and yeah, it's affirmative, that's all. It's affirmative to know you've been doing good work. So guess what? I pity the fool! Me too. I pity the fool. I pity the fool that still thinks that like they have to build big towers to prove themselves. I don't know who I could be talking about. So them towers are coming down there. Divine law are gonna be trumping y'all. I was reminded of a scene from Care Bears where the bears and a human boy are facing an evil, corrupt villain. Yes, they are. And they're just yelling, I care, because they want to create a better world, and their words vanquish the villain in a theatrical way. This is it. That's also reminding me of hey Diliana, how are you? My batteries. Hey, Buck Taylor. There's a lot of love for you here. I appreciate you saying that. I have to plug my phone in. And hilarious. Right. Like, and then I want to talk about that. So, like, that's something Kurt and I have shared. Kurt shared with me some nice information about resource-based economy. So we have free energy available. We have new systems, higher upgraded systems of operations. It's like, how our technology and everything's a reflection. We recognize that computers get upgrades. Holla holla, that's what's happening to us. Our DNA, essentially through how we're retelling our story in human evolution, and with the galactic Earth transit, our old beingness is shattering, and our DNA is being upgraded to a higher time-stable frequency. People call it the fifth dimension. And the fifth dimension is working in a higher operational system, and self-responsibility and unity with heart space is paramount to that co-creation, and we are softening to allow that unity to be fused. Like this community, so many of us communicate telepathically. We are increasingly and very viscerally aware of our unity connection because it's undeniable. you know, for years it's like, holy shit, that's so weird. I was just thinking about that and I just spoke about that. And, you know, now we're witnessing the inner knowing that has been guiding us for the last 10, 20, 30, whatever, however long, right? A lot of us in this community are like indigo souls, as in we're like bridge builders. That's part of our unique experience of being born in and choosing to move through systematic indoctrination and programming so that we can be better teachers of clarifying and navigating into the lighter codes. There again, I'm aware that the younger generations have less karmic backlog. The karmic backlog, I describe it, the karmic backlog, I would say, is the density that we heal. It's the lower vibrational base tones, what I often call the default setting of our own personal karma. It's also our DNA structure, right? It's that which we inherited from our parents. So like Buck Taylor, and I can almost feel your energy, right? But he, that's a 92. So yes, I personally feel that from 87, 88 is where it kind of shifts a bit to those in that generational belt have less, and it's the fact that there's less dense cellular shit, essentially low vibrational shit to clear, and there's a more active empathic awareness. That's not always the case, but again, this is an intuitive channel. I'm intuiting like a sense of things, and it's been reflected back. So the young woman I worked with and I'm good friends with, Katie, who she's your essential guide on the zero waste course that we created. I spoke that to her because she shifted really fast, and then working with her made me realize it's like that. And I think she's 87 or 88 born, and I feel like that's where it starts to really kind of shift, is that the younger generations are coming in with greater clarity and presence, and the indigo souls, those of us that are kind of, we're bridging a timeline, like legit vision that like existence. We have to create a bridge. We have to help people make sense of this transition, right? Because it's huge. And this global paradigm shift isn't going to happen in the next 10 years. This is the beginning of possibly a few hundred years, or at least decades of global transformation. Andy. Yeah, I feel that from you, Andy. I would say you have less karmic backlog, less density to clear. You're already anchored in your divinity awareness. And I'm aware of that, those of you who have children. And I've spoken to you guys about that. Like, your children are more clear. They're already more aware of self-responsibility. They're already blah, blah, blue, blee, right? That's part of how we know we choose our parentage. It's very cool, right? Kurt's given love, given reality, and action is what we're seeing now in Doodly Doodly, right? Babies, y'all just babas. Babas. Divine sight, love can build a bridge between your heart and mind. Oh, that's a good piece. That's the juice that I'm constantly learning. Like, let's not worry about building bridges for other. Let us build the bridge for self. Which any of us on this journey, I've been putting down the fucking planks for my bridge for a long time, and I'm just finishing up. Arriving on new land with people who understand me and people who feel the heart of what I'm doing, so it's like, and the point is that bridge is always there. So the bridge, and I welcome people to use it. But I don't need to like stand in the middle of the bridge. Come on, everyone! Come on! Come over the bridge. No. I'm just put that last plank down, step onto the new earth, and be like, holla! And so many of us, right? Wherever we are in the world, Elliots and all of us, we be bridging. We be creating these bridge, and I really, really feel that. But that we have now completed the build, right? We've completed the build, and we're just gonna make new earth as shiny and shining, happy people laughing, shining, happy people holding hands. Oh, I I know people are like, Molly, you're too idealistic. It's fucking unrealistic. Get with the real world. It's like, I am in my real world. You could join me if you raise yourself up. Um, Sometimes it seems easier for people to judge you rather than hold space for you and align with you, because it hurts. Because light and love and other can often shine our own hurties, you know? And I've talked about that. I've vulnerably shared that kind of stuff. Like, you know, times where I've been in the dumps and I see certain people or and I'm like, fucking. And then I catch that and I'm like, I'm still judging. I mean, I'm still outworking my own self-judgment, right? So, you guys, I'm just gonna finish up with the cards here. So I wanna share the spiritual advice we had. I showed this, right? You're birthing this new awareness. What's the advice? Just be friendly, be kind, and go with the flow. That's all we need to do. We're balancing the energies, right? So we're finishing off these builds, and it's like solidifying the structure. So you finish a build and you just kind of dot the I's and cross the T's kind of thing, you know, like those finishing touches. Or maybe we're just decorating, or maybe we want to paint the bridge, or maybe we want to actually, Deliana, that reminds me, I'm sure you made a comment and then oh yeah, you were just talking about this earlier. That's also the alignment of the one tribe. It's like me finding you that moment. A couple of days ago, I was processing loads and I saw one of your posts, and like I just even reflecting and thinking about it, I'm like, it is just so beautiful to be connecting with people where you feel it. Like even just showing up here, intuitively, energetically, we do attune, we do know other in that regard. When it's in alignment resonance, and we are one mind, we are here for one another, right? Whether we know it or not. And so that moment, that post was, I just needed that reflection, you know? I needed someone to project that onto me, that peace, that connection, because I weren't feeling it in that moment, right? Hey, thanks, Kurt Mill. You're about as raw as it gets. Holla! That pleases me. I'm taking it. I'm taking the ego boost. I just felt guided to pick up the bottom of the deck and then look. There's this. The Lovers. Which feels very much like we're coming into union, you know, with the self and with the soul. That also, though, makes me feel, of course, as we really begin to unify, that makes me think that for some of you, there may be a counterpart coming. For me personally, I feel this is my soul tribe. You guys are here, and thus it's helping me feel more unified, right? And, oh God, I mean, on other levels, there's so much that we are here. Good and oh God. Hey, Buck Tyler, my lover. If you want to go to alltolove.com or see the description box below, you can send me a little email if you want to, or you can book even a quick reading. Quick readings I have for just £5 for a quick little read. I'll send you the link. Or you can just look at alltolove.com and like check out, I do all of it. So I do the website, and I've created all the courses. I wrote the book and my mom edited it. It's a proper kind of family and tribal affair. And yeah, so yeah, feel free, Becky, if you go to alltolove.com, you can subscribe there, and then we can just kind of stay connected. I do endeavor, like, increasingly, I'm probably going to drop it back. I was kind of out of autopilot, fear vibrashe, sending like 3 shout outs a month. I certain to think that's too much. I'll just stick to one. One shout out, unless stuff comes up that I absolutely need to share. Yeah, and basically the monthly shoutouts are usually promoting something that I'm doing or offering some deals and discounts, which is why I kind of say if you want to stay in the loop, subscribe, and or if you're interested in joining Live Share Crew, I would absolutely love to have you. It's not intimate, well, yes it is, because there's a few of us there, and yet we're building this soul tribe, Family Connect, and you can sign up for £5, 55 a month. I'm somebody who's I have a earnest desire to hold space and continue to uplift people. I'm not monetarily or profit driven, although we all understand sustainability in an economy. So I'm navigating, that's what boundaries are all about, right? And yet if you can sign up and pay a monthly fee, fantastic. If tough times occur, which holla, most of us could feel that, that's all good, you know? I'm not like, I don't have some automated system that kicks people out or something when they can't pay. It's not a big deal. I do appreciate when people let me know and or kind of keep me posted, but mostly what I've shared is just like, if a payment stops, just, it's like, but we still want to be part of it, great, we'll continue that, you know? It, for me, it's my friends and my family, right? Lorna! Yeah. Oh, I'm actually closing down, but we've had a beautiful read around like the collapsing of the paradigm, the tower coming down, the positive judgment for those of us in these love, compassion, empath tribes. And I can reflect that back with La Lorna is like our intuitive, psychic, spiritual gifts are really coming online more and more. And that's something we can continue to permission in one another. Yes. Yes, that's it. And that is something I am absolutely experiencing in this community. We're just really early. This community, I am seeing it like how a healthy economy feels. People support each other. You know, I had a tribe member buy a 2-for-1 reading package and he gifted the freebie, paying it forward. Like our good friend Ron, you know, serious stuff, deep grief. And this community shows up to help out. You know, when I was in Portugal last summer, you guys sent extra, when you guys helped me get to fucking Morocco, you, like literally, oh yeah, lovers, been my lifeline these last couple of years. Certainly since I sort of officially ended my yoga career and moved into the online entrepreneurship game. Here we are. I'm gonna pull one more card for us and see what energy. So again, remember the spiritual advice is to just like be really kind to yourself, mega love. You trigger infinite smiling memories. Hello. I'm having a proper flashback, Elle, of our like hangout sesh in Toronto and how fun that was. And remember just like walking through the park and we smoked some spliff. We smoked some spliff on your balcony and really good time. I met Elliot last May in Toronto, Ontario. I went back to Canada for a family member's, or a step family, but you know, still family, wedding. And Elle reached out, and I had like, I don't know how many hours we hung out, but I had like quite a few hours to just either wait at the airport or hang out with an internet friend. Holla! And yeah, and then another viewer here showed up and helped me sort my car out last summer, and then they also drove me to the airport, which is like a fairly long round trip from, let's see, they drove from their home, picked me up in Bristol, drove me to not Morocco, they didn't drive me to Morocco, they drove me to whatever airport, would have been a London airport. So it's like a 2, 3, 4 hour journey for them one way. And then they drove back, and then they picked me up from the airport. I felt like I felt so like freaking blessed. And like I have essentially a stranger, except soul tribe, who shows up in that, because I had no money at that time either. I was bottoming out still financially. I literally had probably like a few quid in my bank account, and this person showed up, drove me to the airport, probably gave me 20 quid to buy some food, and right. And then you guys, one of you sent in, one of you booked, I think, a live in-depth reading, but we're like, don't worry about the reading, just have the money. Yeah, you all just sent what you could, and that made me through. I was able to pay, I was able to get back safely. And in fairness, from a divine level, I had to finish the online course. That's why I had to go to fucking Morocco. I had 10 days in Morocco to do, essentially, I completed all of the filming for Unplug for Freedom in Morocco. And then I spent the majority of November, December doing all the editing so that I could complete the online courses by the end of the year. And I feel I had to consolidate those. Because I wasn't getting on it. Life was so chaotic, and I was kind of crashing out and burning out. I was almost giving up a little bit. I had this retreat booked, and only one person booked, so I lost £600 deposit, and I still owe money to the person who booked, and it never happened, right? Because I used that one booking to pay the deposit, and then I had to cancel the retreat because nobody else booked. And then the higher timeline was like, oh, okay, so I'm not actually going to Morocco to do a retreat. Universe is giving me a kick in the arse to finish the fucking Be the Change courses. And I'm like, holla, get your creative freak on, my lovers. The world needs your love and light. Except, like, you are the world. I want to pick one of the Return of Spirit deck, and I'm feeling it. This one keeps wanting to come up. This must be for one of you, or many of you. The writing card. Let me read from the book. That's kind of like a nice way to close it down, isn't it? I'm gonna unplug it there. And FYI, you guys, you should make a banana loaf. I should make a banana loaf. I should make a banana loaf. That's a great idea. Like, it's a fucking great idea. Okay, so this card, this is some divine guidance for someone. Right, it's the last one. Yeah. Okay. So one, we can also allow the imprint. And I feel like there might be even a planetary transit, like an astrological thing that's also encouraging us to be more creative or express ourselves, right? I feel like that's a song, but I know I couldn't be sure. I feel like Sage put that in, or like, did Divine Sight say something about her? No, I don't know. Because Divine Sight has a family member who bakes. I support banana loaf, especially vegan ones, my lovers. I'm a vegan over here, FYI. Also vegan love. It's one of the courses. I don't consider myself a radical vegan because I am in no way here to make people feel bad about what they want to do and what they desire. I personally, like, I think it's nicer to not slaughter a creature for food, but that's, it's okay. There are no victims. And if we are in the unity space, it is also, it's so deep and profound, but the creatures are also here in service. They're having their own experience. Oh, my lovers. Okay, I'm gonna I just looked down and saw pecans. I'm like, oh, guys, as a little kid, I used to eat pecan pie. It was one of my faves. It's so fucking good. Okay, I'm gonna read this. Whomever this is for, okay? With a drizzle of hot caramel. Okay, there is an expression in English about words being printed in black and white. By drawing this card, Spirit is affirming to you that you need to get your words written down on paper. Yo. I feel I feel guided to say I think this is for somebody I know as well. The moon is on fire. But many of us, in fact, are likely here. Is there something you've thought about writing? It could be poetry, a children's book, a song, or even a speech. Whatever it may be, the energy of putting your thoughts, ideas, and information into a tangible form of manifestation is here. Do not put it off any longer, lovers. If you are having doubts, that's fine. Just acknowledge them and take action anyway. It's important you do, as this is going to lead to something more. Your creative force and expression is powerful, probably more powerful than you are aware of. What you have to say, share, and bring forward to others can be very influential and appreciated. Trust yourself and trust the words that come to you. Be mindful not to judge whether your writing seems good enough. You need just to allow yourself to start. If you have already begun the writing process, then it is important for you to receive this encouragement from your guides and angels as you continue toward completion. You can do this. Your words are needed. You are doing great. Trust what is coming through you. Trust that you were made to do this. Just keep going. Not everyone is born with the gift or purpose to write, but you were. Now is your time to shine in doing this. The right card can also indicate a need to begin journaling. I felt that intuitively as well. This is both on one angle, it's creative process. On another angle, it's self-development, self-study, and healing, channeling, and I call it like the streaming consciousness. I have it as an exercise in the Fearless Life Guide. Streaming consciousness is something I've always done naturally and intuitively as an intuitive introvert and empath. I needed that space to express, and after my awakenings, the more I streamed, the more I realized there was some fucking divine wisdom coming through. And it took me the best part of 15 years to figure out what to do with that wisdom, right? Holla, my lovers. Yes, I am wise. And also a bit of a dork. But holla, we gotta embrace our dualities. I mean, I can be all of it. Sorry to say. I know you might want to like think, oh, it's so shiny and light. Yeah, and it can be rude and sad and bitchy and resentful and like all the shits, you know? I just try to call it out. Rather than pretend like it's not there and pretend like I'm just pure love and light, my lovers. You should follow me and buy my stuff because I'm pure love and light. And one day maybe you can also be pure love and light if you follow my ways. It's like... It's like, I just want to be free. And, you know, trying to control people or save people is not freedom. Feels like another big attachment to me. Holla. This is Bananas Manor made a zucchini loaf the other day. Did you know? Oh, she makes the banana. I know. I feel like this whole sesh is like, is Sage around? She feels like she's here. Whether she's here or not, I'm like, her presence is being very much felt. Banana loaf and writing. Sage, holla, 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 holla. Write down them recipes, girl. Share your recipes with me and come up with a good vegan one. Come on. Come on. Is that another song? Oh, come on. Oh no, that's a step off. Step off. Jack Black. So yes, so the last little journal, the last little blah blah is, so this is about journaling as well as possible creative writing or writing a spiritual text. Who knew? Right, so then the right card can also indicate begin journaling. This could be in the form of a diary. Yes, we know this. However, it could also be that you need to start recording the ideas, thoughts, and teachings you're receiving. Hold on, that's what I did. This began as a manuscript in 2014. I started writing this around the time that I started public speaking, and I went to A-Fest. One of you guys mentioned that in the live share crew. Yesterday. When I went to A-Fest and was endeavoring to pioneer this sort of freedom online lifestyle so I could travel the world and make money online, make money when I see, make money online, instead of having to fucking hustle like a slave to deliver the yoga goods to people. Yeah, I started channeling this book, and then a whole bunch of cray miraculous things unfolded to the point that I ended up in Bali, like literally, and I felt the energy. I felt the energetic download actually like come into my body, and I was like, I know, I'm gonna write it. And I spent every single day in Bali. The first 23 days that I spent in Bali in 2016, I didn't speak or hang out with another human being. I just wrote every single morning for 4 to 8 hours until it was complete. And it was complete, and I was flying home to Heathrow. And then it was just by, again, serendipity and happenstance that my mother, who is also an author and a wordsmith and a professional editor, she happened to be in the country and was available to edit my book. And I don't know if any of other you guys have ever written a book, but the editing process is legit. Like, she and again, who better than my own mom, who also has that same, like, intuition, and intelligence, and she knows me, so that was quite useful, because she's the best person to sort of extrapolate the goods. There she is, the roots is on fire. This woman, my lovers, Roots, this is my new setup until I get my own space, but this is always going to be in the background here. Holla holla. So y'all, I know she's probably fucking embarrassed. I'm sorry, Roots, but I don't care, because this is some really cool shit. Right there, see that girl? See that, guys? See that person? The Roots? Or actually, I keep calling it the Roots. I'm like, you're Roots, so you're just Roots. Not just, you know what I mean? I know, it's really spiced up my room. I now have, like, stuff. I've got my love thing over there. It's not mine. It's actually the person whose house this belongs to there. But they've got some work there, nice mirror. So when I look, I'm looking at a big mirror that way, and so I can see my sparkly new painting. This is like the best investment I've made in myself in a long time. And again, it's this community. I'm you know, starting to build up again and feel so good about everything. The roots is on fire. So again, that's Roots. You can visit her channel, find her email, find her deets. And you can order one of these bespoke natal chart paintings. Yeah. I would. I think they're fucking beautiful. Beautiful. Badass. Plus, Roots is also beautiful and badass. I asked for something about this community. Some of the things that come out of her mouth, I'm just like, oh, what's one of the things you say, like, but you're saying about yourself, like, fucking cunt bastard, or something. You're just like, ah. But it's refreshing, you know? I think so many of us are meeting in this place of, we're over all the bull, which is our own, but still we're over all the, like, the falsity in the collective. And part of the meeting here is like, wait a minute, I know you. Yeah, because we're shining out, like, the legitness of the truth. And we know we accept that change is a constant. So there's a part of, like, allowing one another to morph and change. A lot of people have come and gone from this community, which, you know, for the empath in me would always be a bit difficult. But I remember when I was really in that creation space of rebranding, the person I was being, it was like sort of like a mentor type thing, and he said this thing about, like, no love lost, as in people could, it's like people can come and go in the live share crew, people can subscribe and unsubscribe. I'm still gonna have love. I'm still gonna keep shining love. And yeah, it can feel like ugh, because people I thought cared, or people I thought wanted to support, and they unsubscribe, I recognize that they're not digging on it. I'm triggering something, or they're, you know, they don't. And it's so funny to me, like, all of the stuff that's going on in the world, that people are like, no, all to love, like, shut up. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep loving myself. I'm gonna keep shining light. But there's for me that shift in Capricorn. Now that I've released that burden of saving people or saving the world, I think that people have a lot less power, if any at all, over Masu. So yeah, so Kurt, yeah, that's by Roots made that. So you basically just need to send her money to make them. Because these take probably 10 plus hours, plus the beauty, the expertise, and the actual research. Because she sends with, she'll send a link to your own natal chart and all of it, right? So yeah, all you do is send her your, birth information, your time of birth, your birthday, and birthplace, and there, and then she makes one of these, and they're completely unique, bespoke pieces. So yeah, best investment I've made in myself in probably like over a year. In a sense of like it's a gift for me. I've gifted myself something really beautiful and unique that never ever in the whole world is anyone gonna have something like this. And there again, we're supporting each other, not big business, not. I'd rather share the ultra love money with the people who are here supporting each other, rather than being told what's trendy and then buying that. Anyway, it doesn't make much sense, but holla holla. Hey Rochelle, how are you? I love you. Roots, it's well deserved, sister. It's well deserved. I'm just make a good joke. Excellent, Kurt. Divine insight, not to be confused with Gemini. You guys are the best. Cancer card. This is a quarantine. Oh, nice, Rochelle. You're awesome, Buck Tyler. Love is all you need. What's that? Is that that's Beatles, isn't it? I don't know the words. I can hear it. Anyway, all you need is love. Do 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 do. All you need is love. Do 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 do. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. It's true though. It's effing true. And anything that tells us otherwise is a big, ugly lie. I feel like I could cry, but I love you guys so much. I'll come together right now over me. I can hear the song. Do you think that I'm channeling John Lennon right now? What's the other one? And they say I'm a dreamer. But I'm not the only one. I know I'm not the only one because y'all lovers are here with me being like, let's dream it. And they say that I will solve you and the world will live as one. Please, lovers, wake up your heart. Live in peace. Live in love. Live in the miracle of all that you are. There he is. I know. What's the other one? Is that a... That's one song, but then I'm like, what's the Imagine? Is that one? Imagine all the people living for today. And they say I'm a dreamer. Oh, I'm feeling like a bit image. Pretty mini, but also like, it's so beautiful. Oh, big one. Yeah, Kurt, we're this whole year is where we're witnessing the beginning of the physical. So all this inner work and inner transformation and spiritual awakening that's been going on for yonks is now making manifest in our physical reality. So what we do is stand back and allow it to fall. What did Divine Sight say at one point? Zoom out. Zoom right the fuck out, people. As in, don't be focusing too much on the detail. Expand out, watch, observe. The world as we know it is changing for the better. I know it might not look like that because it's all like but the whole of the mass of humanity is going through their awakening now. So it's best to hold space, right? And keep doing our personal work and hold space for the whole, shine as much love and compassion as possible, and know that we're transitioning. We're moving from a debt-based, limited paradigm to a more expansive, harmonious, resource-based economy where everybody gets to win, basically. Well, that's the world I'm creating anyway. You know, you guys can create whatever world you want. Hey, Shikiki Libre, fellow Jedi, superhero, French Canadian. Andy P. Indeed. So if we're going to wrap up today's share, my lovers, then we'll just take that. What's it? Constant. Hey, Geta means war. Hi, nice to see you here. It's a constant game of grounding. In diddly diddly. It's like there's the reflection. Okay, wrapping out today. Zoom out. Bake banana loaves. We're good. Grounding. Feet on the ground. Spend time in nature. Be kind to yourself. Be kind to others, and keep projecting and visioning the new world that we all know is just a bit better. You know. Hey, chic. Mega love, y'all. Enjoy your banana bread. Buy some stuff from Otilave, or keep investing in your own hot love vibrashe, or go to Roots and get one of your natal charts, because like my life actually feels enhanced because this is in my worlds. So I would highly recommend. I love you all so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for choosing love. Thank you for adding chocolate chip into your banana loaves, and maybe adding a bit of like coconut oil and toasting it, or peanut butter or something like that, and just feeding your body, mind, and soul with love and juicy goodness and passion and hope. Like hope is not even like, it's beyond hope at this point. It's a knowing of truth. It's a knowing of the heart love. We are that. I feel it. I know you are my family. What's that song? We are family. I got all my brothers and sisters with me. We are family. Okay, right. I gotta go. Just suddenly had a moment of like, oh shit, is my fly completely open? Nope. I love you guys. Have an awesome day. Keep eating your banana loaves and keep believing in yourself, and just keep loving. Virtual hugs. Virtual hugs, my lovers. Have a great day. Love you loads. See you next time. Peace out.